welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor, that's Nick, and we got a special guest this week. Brady's making his podcast debut.
Let's get weird.
We have this weekly podcast that we do talking about video games, talking about the video game news a little bit, bringing our hot takes to you, doing a fun draft. We got a three-person draft this week.
Holy shit.
It's going to get wild.
Weird.
It's going to get weird. Oh,
yeah,
wild and weird.
For you to say wild and not weird, it made me uncomfortable.
So it's just going to be a little bit different this week. We are also bringing our Helldivers 2 review to you. But before we get into that, how we feeling, boys? Feeling good?
I'm feeling good. I just had the best burger I've ever had in my entire life.
God,
There's no way. I can't tell if you're joking or not.
So let me break this down real quick. The burger, like it gets presented to me. I'm like, all these ingredients are looking fresh. It's looking good. Put a little ketchup on it, and it's just got
ketchup on a burger is wrong. First,
okay, that's fine. But I make it perfectly, and I bite into it. In the first bite of this burger, I legitimately was just like, that is the best bite of food I've ever had when it came to a burger ever. And then it didn't stop the entire time. Every single bite after that was like, this is just the best burger. Yeah.
And people are probably wondering, like you're saying that, people are like, dude, where's the secret great burger place? The fucking Rusty Bucket.
Yeah.
It's the Rusty Bucket.
Is the Rusty Bucket?
Rusty Bucky?
Is the Rusty Bucket like chain that's like countrywide?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's not like small. I think there's a decent amount of Rusty Buckets. If I had to guess,
I didn't know if it was just Ohio.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was I thought that was just a
Nicholas,
it's a mom and pop Rusty Bucket shop.
I'm gonna take you to the best pizza I've ever had, Sbarro. It's like your dad that one time when he was like, "There's a small little ice cream place or whatever."
He's like, "Oh yeah,"
or no cookies.
He's like, "I was in this town and they had this small little cookie place that does like hot cookies and ice cream. I think it was called Insomnia Cookies." And I was like, "Are you serious right now?" It's like those are everywhere in like every college town. And he was like, "Oh, I thought it was just that one store." It's very funny.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, that's this is a video game podcast where we talk about video games. We're gonna kick it off.
Wait, no. We talked about me a little bit, but how are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Nick had his burger.
Okay, anyway, we're a video game podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
I had a Philly cheesesteak and it was quite delicious. It was quite good. The fries were well seasoned and delicious.
We normally don't,
but I'm stuffed.
We normally try to eat before the pod and everything, but normally it's like we grab some quick food. We just shot 2 weeks worth of content, so we're coming in hot. We're pretty exhausted after it, but I think that the energy's feeling good. We went out to grab food. We went to a GameStop. We were chilling out, and it was a good time. Brady, how you feeling?
Good. I'm on the same page. I mean, I just had a Philly cheesesteak from the Rusty Bucket, and it was fine. It was the Rusty Bucket.
It was a Philly
It was not
cheesesteak.
the best damn Philly cheesesteak I've ever had in my life.
What
but
do you expect from the Rusty Bucket?
It was good.
Connor, I didn't expect it. It just happened. Okay, and now I will never shut up about this, and I'm going to go back tomorrow.
When you took that first bite and you looked at Connor and I and you go, "This is the best burger I've ever had," and we both laughed because we thought you were joking.
Yeah.
And then you were being so serious. And when you told the server, even the server was like, "Okay, dude, this is Rusty Bucket."
And I was like, "I'm dead serious," and she was just like, "Oh."
She like
shit.
scuffled, like she was like, "What?"
But yeah, it was a good time. We got hot takes. Can I hop into my hot take?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me break this down. I've had this hot take for like 3 weeks, and we've just for a certain podcast.
Be a big one.
I'm not trying to offend anyone. Oh, no. I'm not trying to offend. If you do care about this, good for you. I do not give any shits about frames per second. I don't care. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care. If a game runs at 30, cool. If it runs at 60, cool. I notice the difference. If I'm not playing a competitive shooter, it's a nice thing to have. But I don't know why this is a headline when it comes to certain gaming topics where it's like, this game isn't gonna run at 60. It's like, okay, like that's not the end of the world. Is it still a great game? If it's a great game, I don't care if it runs at 30. Like, why is this just the number one thing that people talk about when it comes to next gen games? I understand that that was the promise and that was a goal, but it's like, it's so unimportant in the overall package to me because games have been running at 30 amazingly for so long when it comes to story-based action games, which I care about, that I like 60. I prefer 60, but it's not the end of the world. I don't really care. I just don't. And I know people do, and I know people spend a lot of money to make this like go and work faster and soup up their PCs. I'm not coming after like people that are playing CSGO and they actually need these frames or competitive Fortnite or whatever it is. I'm talking about when it comes to Redfall or Starfield. Like I felt like Bethesda was getting raked over the coals last year for no reason. Because at the end of the day, those games' merit of whether they are good or not does not depend on it, even though they were major news stories for what felt like no reason. And it bothered me immensely, and I just want to throw that out there, that it's okay if a game doesn't run at 60. If the game is good, I promise you, I will not care. What's your opinion on this, especially with Starfield? Because like Starfield obviously didn't run as smooth as it should.
It ran fine for me on my PC, above 30 frames per second. But for me, when it comes to the 60 versus 30 argument, it's once you notice it and once you've experienced like them back to back. Like I switched from fidelity mode to performance mode on God of War Ragnarok, and on Ragnarok I'm at 120 FPS on PS5. Then if you go to fidelity mode, it goes down to 30, and I felt like I was going to throw up.
That's drastic.
If you do it like back to back and see that change, it's like like as you're moving the camera and moving the character, it looks like you're moving in slow motion. This is a high fidelity, just fucking action game. Things are moving like crazy, and like you need that flow, that fluidity or whatever. And if it's not a total deal breaker for me, because like I went back and like played Bloodborne, which runs at like 12 frames a second.
It literally does.
On PS4.
It's one of the greatest games of all time.
But you have to get used to it. It does make me feel sick though. Like
makes you feel sick.
Yeah, it's not like oh, that makes me feel sick. It legitimately hurts my tummy.
Your tum.
Yeah, it's like I get like motion sickness.
Yeah,
from it now.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, Nick. Like if you give me a game and you just throw it in front of me, like you said, I'm not gonna notice. Like I don't care. But if it's one of those things where you put them side to side, or I switch it in the moment, and then I notice it, that's all I'm gonna think about.
Yeah.
I used to be the same way though, because I played all my games on PS4, and like Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, God of War, all ran. Last of Us Part 2 ran at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't care. And then once I got a PC and got a PS5, and there's a certain standard now that like it's really hard for me to go back. And fix
60.
That
Once again, my main point of this is I prefer 60. I understand that 60 is better. It's more about the way that certain developers and news stories have raked these people over the coals like it is the biggest deal before a game even comes out. For me, when I see that story, I'm like, that kind of sucks. But it feels like people are like, this game before I cared about and I was excited about, and now it's running at 30, and now I'm just not excited about it.
It just doesn't make any sense though when a game like Horizon Forbidden West, which is like quite possibly the most gorgeous game ever made, can run its open world at 60 frames per second and just give up some of that fidelity or whatever. And Starfield, which looks like it came out in 2006, is like capped out at 30 on Xbox Series X, which is more powerful than PS5. It's
totally.
like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's not even necessarily that like it's 30 frames. It's that they should be able to not have it.
They should. It once again, it should, but I don't care. And I know that this might be one that I get a few comments on, and it's not great.
I think some people agree with you.
But like, it's a major. It's not about agreeing or disagreeing. I think we all would be like, yeah, 62 would be nice. I'm just saying I don't like when these devs get raked over the coals for making like a game for 5 or 6 years, and then it's
a deal breaker.
Excuse me. Well, for certain people, it is a deal breaker, and for me, it is just so not. That like it's frustrating that it is for certain people, where I'm just like, I understand. I'm not trying to yuck your yum, especially if it makes 60 is like, if you're making a shooter like Redfall, in my opinion, was like kind of needs to be 60 because of the mechanics of shooting and like how that feels playing just current gen shooters. But like, man, oh man, can we just dial it in and understand that it's really not a game that you're PvP going against people and need to click heads. It's more just like, okay, 30's okay. It's not the end of the world. That game is bad for a billion different reasons. 60 isn't the reason. Or that game is going to be great for many different reasons. 30 isn't going to be the reason that it holds it back. That I feel like that happens with basically all the PlayStation 4 generation, and that's why I'm just okay with it. That's my hot take for the week.
But I just felt like we were past it. I just felt like we were done with 30 FPS with PS5. That was the promise of next gen. And now we're
quick
still
question:
there.
Machine Games, Indiana Jones. Do you think it's
30 FPS?
Yeah, it's probably 30. It's probably 30. And that's,
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It better be. I freaking hope it is.
This is one of those things of like, do I think it's this year? Yeah. Would I bet a single cent on it? Nope. Because it's just a total crapshoot of what's actually going to come to fruition. The only game that I think will actually hit this year with confidence is Hellblade, and I think that there's still a large chance it gets delayed out of May into like the fall or something. I don't know. I'm stoked for that though. Brady,
hot take.
Ooh.
Oh man, yeah, that was in sync. Did you guys practice that?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys at this point, you've shot how many of these podcasts? You're scraping for hot takes. I feel like you got to get creative with your hot takes. This is my first one coming in. I can come in hot. I can say whatever I want.
Brady's like, gaming sucks.
Video games are bad. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I've been known to say this on our TikToks. I give little comments about this when this game series comes up in our list videos and stuff. And I know people are going to get mad and people are going to hate me for this, but I just need to say it. I do not like Assassin's Creed as much as everybody likes Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It's just not my game. Like, it's not my, like, the style of game. I want to like it so bad, but like the fighting mechanics in that game, like you're just mashing buttons and it's doing cool stuff. Like I need something a little more, with more depth. None of the stories drag me in. I feel like I'm playing the same game.
Totally.
And it's like, I'll be honest, I haven't played the most recent Assassin's Creed. I haven't played it.
The last
two Assassin's Creed. I gave up on it. I've watched gameplay and I'm like, yep, that's Assassin's Creed.
Totally.
Like I just can't get into it as much as people do. And like I understand why people love the game. Like I'm not like, this game sucks. I'm just like, it's not for me. Yeah. It's not my bag.
Yeah. I've totally fallen out of it. It's one of those series that's so long running at this point that I don't understand who is playing them. Like,
Andy McWilliams.
But yeah, like we have friends who are like really into it, and there's definitely like a hardcore audience, but they sell like crazy.
Yep.
And I'm like, they did change with Origins and Odyssey and Valhalla to like a more of like an RPG style, which a lot of people like and a lot of people hate. But then before that, it was all the same style of gameplay and very similar story structures and everything. That like I played 2, and then I played a little bit of 3, and then played 4, and I was like 4 Black Flag. We got ships and sword combat and swashbuckling, and I'm like, this is the peak. We can't get any better than this. I'm like, I'm just gonna stop here and bounce off, and that's it.
Yeah, the best way I can put it is like, if you think about it, like I'll go back to Rusty Bucket, dude. It's like it's Assassin's Creed is the Rusty Bucket of video games. It's like, this is like, it's fine. Everything's fine. Like, I'm not like, and then you got your people like Nick that are the reason this game's selling. They're like, this is the best burger I've ever had. And it's like, it's not how. You're at Rusty Bucket, dude. You're at Assassin's Creed right now.
Yeah.
Like everything in that game is fine. It's fine.
I agree with the take. There was a moment where like it was when Mirage was coming out this year, and I was like, you're telling me that I have things like Starfield, Lies of P, Sea of Stars coming out around there, and then leading into Alan Wake 2, Mario Wonder, Spider-Man 2. You're trying to give me Assassin's Creed right now?
Another one? Like, it's like there's all these games coming out. Yeah, you're just going to throw another Assassin's Creed.
There's no world where like it would be a priority for myself, us as a team. Like, would it be nice if there was no games coming around it? No, but now we live in a world where there's a plethora of games every single month that you have to go and make opportunity cost choices every single month with your time.
But some people's entire year is Assassin's Creed.
Well, I feel like
especially depending on the new games, how long they are. Like Valhalla is like 400 hours long. It's ridiculous.
I know, and for me, I put them in like a place that I put most Call of Duty players. There's people that bought their PS5 day one to play Valhalla on the best souped up piece of hardware, and for me, I'm like, good for you. I'm playing Miles Morales like that, but I don't know which one sold more off the top of my head. But it wouldn't shock me if Valhalla way outsold Miles Morales. But those were both day one releases on PS5, and all of a sudden it's just like, I kind of want to play Miles Morales a lot more. That's a way more interesting story, like you said, way more interesting combat, way more interesting just game in general. And so I agree with the take.
I mean, trust me, in like the 8th grade or like freshman year, I'm like, oh dude, Assassin's Creed is awesome. And then
hit the blade.
It's not, we're past that time now. It's like when you said, when you got games like Alan Wake 2, Lies of P just surrounding you, it's like, I don't know why I would go to Assassin's Creed, but I get, like I said, sometimes you need your Rusty Bucket.
Well, yeah, sometimes I also think that like it's a comfort food where like you know what you're gonna get, and with Ubisoft games in general, there's not a lot of substance. Sometimes it feels like there's a lot of flash, a lot of smoke and mirrors, especially when it comes to storytelling. It's like, oh, this is just as paint by the numbers as it gets. There might be a twist, but it's a very telegraphed twist.
Yeah,
and so
I'm saying let it die. Why
exactly?
Do we need so many of these
well, are you? My question
it's
is,
like are you stoked?
Are you stoked for Assassin's Creed Red? with the going to Japan. Finally, it happened.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll probably that's the most interested I've been in Assassin's Creed in a long time. But at the same time, it's like
this year apparently.
To get a franchise like Assassin's Creed, you first need to make the first Assassin's Creed. Like so if Ubisoft is giving all their effort into Assassin's Creed, we're never gonna get the next thing.
Well, I mean,
it's just like. Just make the next thing.
I think that I want to give Ubisoft some credit. They made one of the best goddamn Metroidvania games of all time, like with Prince of Persia.
Franchise though,
so
like,
I know
they can't make something new. I want something.
I know, but that
even
is
like Watch
new.
Dogs was interesting because at least it was new, and it didn't end up panning out greatly. But at least like it was an attempt to make something different.
Right.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
They're like, all right, go back to Assassin's Creed. Back to Assassin's Creed.
Well, I also think that when it comes back to that question of the year for me, which is why would they do it? Holy shit, they're making hand over fist money by making these games. It's so easy to just be like, hey, what's fiscal year 2024 look like? We got The Crew 2 coming out. We got Prince of Persia. That shouldn't sell too great. So yeah, we're gonna bottom line like we're gonna make 10% more than we did last year. Or we just throw in Assassin's Creed and make some fucking money. And then they
said that they would stop making them yearly if they stopped selling, and then they saw a dip, and then they stopped. They took a year off, and now it seems like we're just back to.
I think they took 2 years off. 2020 from Valhalla to 2023 Mirage.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like they did take some time, and I think that a lot of people were stoked for Mirage.
But like 6 Assassin's Creed games
totally.
at once.
Nexus and Infinity Red, the Witch one. I don't know, but yeah, I'm stoked for Red that comes out this year. I think that's called Nexus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm stoked to play Red this year. I just hope that it's not coming in a plethora of review season like we got last October, which I don't think it will this year.
How deep into this podcast are we right now?
We're like,
I guess 20 minutes.
16 minutes.
16 minutes.
I'm gonna do my hot take, and then I think we're just gonna hop into the Helldivers 2 review.
Well, we can just
drop the news. We didn't factor in that having 3 of us here would elongate almost every conversation.
Totally,
by a third.
Let it rip. We'll rip through these hot take. Hit us, Connor. Hit us the hot take.
My hot take. I don't even know if it's a hot take, but my hot take for this week is about gatekeeping series from people. Some of these series are so long and daunting, and have been going for decades now that like we need to just accept that some people are going to jump in to certain series in weird places.
Yep.
If you want to hop into God of War and you want to just start with 2018 and then go and play Ragnarok, I'm not going to be upset at you for not playing 1, 2, and 3. I'm not going to scoff at.
Yeah, because that's what I did.
Yeah, like
there's YouTube videos for that shit, dude.
Just have fun or whatever. Like let them do it. I'm not going to be mad at you for playing Final Fantasy VII Remake had you not played the original, especially with remakes now. Like there are so many fucking games getting remade that like it's almost impossible for people to play the original before the remake. And then there's also like the factor of like, why would you want to play a lesser version of this game before we're about to get the better version of it?
Totally.
The only like example of that not being the case for me is Resident Evil 4, where I think the original is better. But either way, it's like I had that experience and I was like, I'm kind of Resident Evil out at this point or whatever, because I played them back to back. But I just think there's a lot of online gatekeeping when it comes to getting into series. Like Yakuza's gone for fucking ever, and if you want to just play Yakuza 7 and 8, just go for it. Like, have fun.
Yeah, that's literally what we're
it's a series that
do.
I haven't even like gotten into, but I'm not about to be like, okay, I have to play not 8 of these games and then spin-offs, Gaiden and Ishin and like shit like that.
Like Dragon.
Like, yeah. So it's just like I want to get into the series, but like I don't want anybody to like make me feel bad. There's exceptions to this though. You can't hop into Kingdom Hearts like halfway through. You're gonna be confused and not know what the fuck is going on.
I didn't plan on it.
You can't start Kingdom Hearts 3 and be like, this game doesn't make any sense. And it's like, well, yeah, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
But I think to my point earlier of like, there's YouTube videos for that. If somebody legitimately was like, hey, I kind of want to try Kingdom Hearts 3, and they watch a couple YouTube videos, Kingdom Hearts is obviously very confusing. That might be good to then turn them into playing the other games on the Quest and everything.
And then I would say Metal Gear as well. Those are the 2 series I'm like, you kind of got to just play everything.
I respect that take.
Yeah.
You're probably some people aren't going to be happy with that because you do have they think they're on their high horse.
You're
like,
you're super fans of certain series.
It's like, dude, I've only played God of War 2018 and then I'll move into Ragnarok soon, but it's like, I'm not going to go buy a PS2 and play the rest of the God of Wars before that.
Totally. I mean, it's also about accessibility with a lot of these games.
Right.
Like, how easy is it to go and get a PS2 with the game? It's like, okay, you can find it on eBay, but you know what you're gonna get with eBay. Randomness, it could be a shitter for all you know. And so yeah, I think that the accessibility that the PS4, PS5, and the Xbox with backwards compatibility has been awesome, but like PS3 is like a lost generation. It's impossible to easily get these PS3 games. You just have to have a PS3, PS2,
1 and 2,
PS3. You want to play fucking. I was
Motherfuckers.
about to say
Sly
PlayStation
Cooper.
All Stars Battle Royale.
Yep.
PS3.
Yeah, the best game on
The
PS3.
best. Literally
damn
the best.
PlayStation. Oh, we switched it out. We both.
Yeah, we were so excited. You want to hop into Helldivers?
Yeah,
He's
we're
got
do I have
damn
to
resin.
say review copy provided by PlayStation. Do I have to
Yeah,
say that?
I think so. Or we can. So this is a little inside baseball. We did get codes for Helldivers on the day of. From our understanding, no one got codes before that. It was all day of with server stuff. So shout out to Sony and PlayStation for providing a copy. We have to show a graphic that they provided the game. That's just part of what you gotta do, and we're stoked about that because it was very nice to get this game. Because holy shit, Helldivers, dude. We'll get into the TikTok review in just a moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
you want to just give it a. Are you gonna move it over to Brady when it's his turn to do
No,
it?
I'm gonna go and take it down after. You just need it for the first like 5 seconds.
Okay.
Yep.
You're introing it.
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, maybe I should have it on me then. It needs to be in the first shot. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody who's just listening to the podcast. We are.
I forgot I was introing it. I knew Connor was speaking first on it. Connor is the lead review on this, so good job, Connor.
That's me.
Ready?
I was, and then my phone just turned off. Yep.
Connor, you've been playing Helldivers 2. What is your review, and what would you give it on the co-op 64 scale?
Yeah, I'm about 25 hours in to Helldivers 2. I've been playing it for the last couple weeks since release. Thanks for PlayStation for providing that review code. I would give Helldivers 2 on the co-op 64 scale a 9 out of 10.
Whoa!
Yeah, this is one of the most fun I've had playing a multiplayer video game in years, where it is the perfect balance between casual hop in with your friends, drop in, drop out co-op gameplay and high octane crazy difficulty depending on what you're looking for and depending on what level you're playing on. That varied mix of level from casual to just craziness is like perfectly balanced, and whatever you're kind of looking for at the moment, you can kind of just grind out your missions and do some fun bug planets, or you can go to the automaton planets and kick up the difficulty and get your teeth absolutely kicked in.
Just rocked.
And with all of this, there's so many varied missions and different planets that look really drastically different, have different weather and different like smoke screen fumes where it makes it like difficult to see, and that's really fun to just kind of experience and go from planet to planet and see all of that. When it comes to the gunplay, the shooting feels fantastic, and there's so many varied guns, and anything that you kind of want to fit your play style seems viable at the very least. There's only been one gun that I was like, this gun sucks. Like I don't think this is good. But I've used shotguns, I've used submachine guns, I've used assault rifles, and I'm like, this all feels great. Like depending on what I want, and I can kind of mix and match based off of all of that. And with that being said, progression for a live service game, it can kind of live and die by that. The progression's perfect. I feel like I'm getting drip fed little endorphin hits like, ooh, a new gun, ooh, a new skin, ooh, a new emotes, like just constantly, and it's free. The free battle pass is great, and unlocking new stratagems and new guns and new emotes and stuff like that feels like it's perfectly paced out and drip fed. There are microtransactions in this game, and with live service games that can be a really dicey, weird situation, but here I feel like they're appropriately priced and nothing's pay to win, and it's kind of the roadmap that I would hope every live service game goes down in the future. Like, because live service has become this like naughty word. It's like, oh, it's a live service game. It's like, this is proof that you can do it right. Like if you put in the work to make sure the actual game is fun and good, and then make your bag on some little microtransactions like later on. I think there's microtransactions in the store for like $1, like which is crazy. The metagame of there being different planets with like what am I looking for? Unlocking or freeing the planet from its plague is hilarious, and the comedy in this game is amazing. Like the like in-game ads and the for democracy, have a cup of liberty.
Oh, the sound bites.
It's hilarious
so
or whatever. Like it's so fun and goofy, and it fits with that co-op fun that like I absolutely love that. And like the friendly fire killing your getting your co-op buddies like hit by a stratagem on accident, like an airstrike, and then you're all getting blown away. And it's like, who did that? It's like, I don't know. And it's very funny and very goofy and fun, but also has a nice layer of depth. As I said at the start of this is the most fun I've had playing a multiplayer game in a long time, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants that experience. And I don't think that it's hard to get into. Like, if you have some buddies, it's great to like have that found group, but the matchmaking is pretty great. The only thing that is holding this game back right now is the server issues. It's hard to connect online. There's 400,000 people on Steam trying to get into the servers. It's like beyond Arrowhead's wildest dreams could they possibly have predicted this game was going to do as well as it is. Seems like they're trying to figure it out. It seems like we're getting it right, but these Helldivers need to spread some democracy, and it's tough to not be able to go do that when you want to. So
Hell yeah, dude. Fudge, yeah, dude. Brady,
Nick,
this is your first time ever being on a Co-op 64 review, so give us your review and a score on the Co-op 64 scale, 1 through 10. Obviously, we got the 0.5s in there too. What are you thinking with Helldivers 2?
On the Co-op 64 scale, when I first went to rate this game, I was leaning for an 8.5, and then I started writing my review down, and I was like, man, I really can't find that many things wrong with this game. I can only write down positive things right now, and that's when I was like, yeah, this game, I'm going to lean towards a 9, and I'm going to give it a 9. Dude, when I bought this game, it's like, it's a $40 game. Totally. So when I bought it, or when PlayStation gave us codes, thank you, PlayStation, I went in with low expectations. I was like, there's got to be a reason this game is $40. Like, it might not have that much depth to it. Fine. It's like, I'll get what I paid for. So, like, when you get in the game after doing the tutorial and you dive into the first world or whatever, you're like, okay, yeah, like, maybe the graphics aren't breathtaking, but they're up to par. They're good. And then you start running and gunning, and you're like, there's a decent spread of enemies. There's like different enemies coming at you. Like, I can accept this. Like, I'm glad I spent $40 on this game. And then you finish up that mission and you get back to the ship and you start moping around, like looking at stuff, and you're like, oh man, there's a little more depth in this game. Like, I can upgrade stuff, I can buy stuff. And then you go into another world and you're like, this is a different world. Like, this is you start killing new people and you're like, whoa, there's like way more enemies than I first expected. So like, I was like, this is only a $40 game, and I feel like I'm getting the most I can out of this.
Totally.
And like, when I was writing my review and I was thinking about it, I was like, I honestly think there's $70 games that don't give you as much as this game gives you. So for them to give you this game for $40 it's like amazing. And like you said, like people have their go-to games. They have their CSGOs, they have their Sieges, they have their Valorant, whatever their cup of tea is. It's like each of those games you can find problems with, and people like what they like for a reason. And this game, this is the one multiplayer, like, running shoot 'em games with your friends that like didn't fuck up. You really can't find something bad about this game, except for the servers, of course, but that's something they can fix.
Right.
It's like they can fix that issue, and
it's not even their fault.
It's not even their fault. It's like the game's too good. That's why it's fucking up. And like you said, I'd recommend this game to anybody who, whether you're a Siege guy, a CS:GO guy, a Valorant guy, a Fortnite guy. I think you can go into this game, and whether if you're playing like by yourself, randos online, which can get a little dicey, or if you're slaying bugs with your friends, it's like, I think anybody can get into this game.
Right. Totally.
Like, it's fantastic.
I think a big thing was you legitimately were so stoked on this game. You got multiple of our friends, like, you were making the sales pitch to multiple of our friends who are not huge, pick up every single PlayStation exclusive. Like, they're maybe buying 1 or 2 games a year. You're like, this needs to be one of those games.
You need to buy
this is a must play. For me, I'm actually leaning towards an 8.5 on the Co-op 64 scale. I adore this game. The fun per minute is off the freaking charts. Like, this is one of the most fun games I've ever played. And it's all that moment-to-moment action with that core gameplay. of you're running, you hold L1, you type in your stratagem, you throw the grenade over the top, it goes, drops in on a giant bug that you're like, I would not be able to kill that thing without precisely nailing this. Then you're going and plugging holes with grenades that spew out bugs. You clear out a base, and these small endorphin hits, whether it's the big overall mission, whether it's the quick little side mission that gives you a little bit more XP, you get dropped in this world for 20 to 40 to 10 minutes, and every single moment you are doing the next objective, you're stoked to do it. And then there are the moments where I'm just playing with Connor and I just look over at him. He's looking at me funny, and I just take him out because friendly fire
That's
is
why I haven't
so
played with Nick.
much fun.
Nick's got a
Nick's good for it.
Trigger finger.
Yo, absolutely.
He's willing to use.
I love this game. 8.5. I think the servers take the big negative for me is the servers. I also do think that the reason it's not a 9 for me is I will be putting this game down sooner than I would like, but it's almost like by April, I don't see myself playing it. And when it comes to a multiplayer game like this, I need to see myself like April, May, June, multiple months down the line playing this game. But for $40, it's a must buy. It is if you have friends, play it. If you don't have friends, join the Co-op 64 community and play with a bunch of us, because we've been having a blast playing together with the community. It's been one of those experiences that we're going to look back at the end of this year, and I would be shocked if Helldivers is not in my top 10.
Yeah. I'll play this game as long as they allow me to play
it.
Yeah.
And the way that it seems like they're updating it, like when they were like, the automatons have pushed further into the galaxy and you need to go help free these planets. I was like, oh, is this just like kind of like propaganda? Like, and then I get in the game and I'm like, oh no, there's just new planets that you could go to.
They left a lot of room. They left a lot of room on that map, dude.
I was like, they're gonna update it at this clip. I don't know if it's gonna stay at this clip, but I was like, it's been like a week and we're already on new planets now with new objectives and stuff. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
I just want to let the pod know that we are now back into like podcast mode. That was obviously going to be broken out for TikTok. Once again, PlayStation, thanks for sending some codes our way. Just to clarify, not all of us got codes, so if you're like, some of us did spend $40 on this, just to make that a little bit clear, to make it easier. Like, there was a value proposition for some of us where it was, hey, it's $40, are we doing this? Who's reviewing it and everything? And the fact that we not only have Brady on the podcast, but all of us have been diving deep into this game. I've not been as deep because I was working Grand Blue Foam Stars for the past couple weeks, but like, we're working on those reviews. But for all of us to play this game, I think it's such a flagship moment for not just the team, but like to be like, holy shit, we're all having the most fun we've had. And like, what we've only all together, I think I played like 3-ish hours with you. I think I played 4-ish hours with you. And it's just like, this is a shit ton of fun.
I would buy the game again. Like, totally. I would buy
I want
the
this
game.
podcast to end so we can just play more Helldivers.
Yeah. It's legitimately like gross how often we've been like, we spread some democracy.
We set Valorant to the side, which is hard to do for us. One more thing I do want to hit on is when it comes to more of the depth of this game, it's like, dude, no two missions are the same.
So
it's
true.
like you're going into a planet, and like usually with online multiplayer games like this, it's like, here's what you're doing. This is your one thing. No, dude, you're going into each mission, each planet. There's like certain of the same missions, but like not the way it plays out, the side missions, you can make that, you can play that game as long as you want, each mission as long as you want.
And how difficult it is, or like how different each sequence is depending on the difficulty, is insane. I'm like, okay, we're on medium, I'm cleaning out every single corner of this map, feeling good. We're mowing bugs down, feeling great.
Spreading democracy, dude.
Having a great time. You bump it up to challenging or hard. You're like fighting for your fucking life.
They called it challenging for a reason.
It's like, Jesus Christ, it's awesome though. And I've seen some clips on like TikTok and Twitter and stuff where I'm just like, it looks like they're playing a different fucking game to me. They're like diving.
The moment by moment, though, like fun for a minute. When we're in those challenging matches, I think you nailed it. When you're doing the sideways dolphin dive, where it's hell diving, I don't know what. And this branding is so fucking good, because every single time I have dolphin dived in this game thus far, I go hell dive, and then I do it, and then like you jump out of the way of a giant bug coming your way, and then you turn and pop them. It is one of those experiences where it's like, the game gives you those moments, and I just want to get more of those moments in my life, like as often as possible. I want to not have to edit tonight. I want to not have to do anything. Yeah, let's fucking end this pod. Let's Helldivers time. Like, I can't believe Arrowhead, for a $40 value proposition, came in and gave one of the best games of this year.
Yeah, it took them 8 years to follow up. Follow up the last one. Helldivers, and they switched from that over the top point of view to a third person, like more AAA, big budget thing, and that can be tough to do, and they fucking pulled it off.
Have either of you touched the original Helldivers?
Yeah,
I've never played. I'm so curious. Like,
it's the
top
same game.
down.
Really? It's the same game, top down.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I know it's top down.
But
so
it's
not
like you call in stratagems, you mow down bug enemies and automatons, you can kill your teammates on accident. Like
it's the same game, but though being in boots on ground definitely makes it more terrific.
It's a huge difference, but the fact that like they were able to take everything that was amazing about the first one and put it into third person, like it's really kind of impressive.
So
like,
good.
I can't believe they pulled it off.
Yeah,
because I think this game looks visually great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
This game feels it's a quote unquote long lost age of AA games, but it's basically a AAA at this point.
It's a AA game that's so fucking fun, like a AAA game or whatever. Like it just goes to show that you don't need this like massive budget. Just make something fun. You know what I mean? Like,
which I hate to say, we've dogged on the PlayStation Live Service movement that they've been trying to push for so long. They are now, since that state of play, or not state of play, that May showcase where all of us were just like, like it's all right.
Yeah.
Like Fair Games, Concord, Marathon, like Helldivers, like we sort of know what that's going to be, but how is it going to really deliver? Like a week ago, we made a bet being like, is it going to be an 85 on Metacritic? Because I was like, there's no way I expect it to be as good as it could be. You know, like I was like, it needs to hit on everything to even get to that 85 on Metacritic. And
did you say 85 on Metacritic or 85 on OpenCritic?
Meta. And surely enough, I am at the point that I'm just like, this is unfreaking believable that it is even pushing that 80s. In general, it's at an 83 right now.
83, come on, bump that up.
Yeah, like we all gave it. You guys gave it 9s. I give it an 85. Like this is a objectively one of the most fun, terrific multiplayer experiences we're gonna have. And I would be shocked if at the end of the year that it's not in our it might not be in all of our top 10s, but it will be on our collective list in our top 10. 100%.
One frustration I did have, and this is more of a personal thing, and I don't know if you guys experience it, which this frustration was fixed for me, but at first I was like, dude, I just want to be able to run faster. So, and like it's like the running and stuff is weird, but then the further I got in the game and the more planets I like explored, I started to come to realize it's like I'm running slow because I'm in snow or I'm hitting a bush, and it's like there's just that attention to detail. It's like I'm running slow because I'm like running into a bush right now, dude, or I'm in snow. It's like
the atmosphere of you're in mud, you're trucking through sand, whatever it is, and then there are the moments where you're on just like straight up grass and you are getting a little bit of pep in your step. It is the gameplay is. It doesn't make sense that it's a $40 game because it's so tight. Right. A lot of people were asking why the fuck isn't this a game a live service game? I'll go the other way. Why isn't it $70?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The people are like, this should be live service for free. Or sorry, free to play is what I was looking to say. Why couldn't it be $70?
I'd rather pay $40 and have them not absolutely gouge us for microtransactions
or bonus content,
and just give me the full game like right off the jump, and then I can, if I want to give them extra money down the line, like for microtransactions, then like that are reasonably priced, then great, but still sell me the full game, and that's what they did. That's what they delivered.
Oh, and I'm a sucker for those cheeky little skins, dude. Dude, like that's another cool thing is like when you got that whole squad in there and you're all just dripped out but looking different.
Dude.
I'm into it.
The number of the main thing that I kind of want to end this talking about is like the amount of cinematic emergent moments that like aren't scripted that feel scripted.
Yeah.
Like us, I don't know if you were here for this, but
he was here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
so
he was
Nick,
on the party with us.
We're all three. We get on the ship to extract, and Nick, you can see him over there, like running to try to get on, and it's like he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Time ran out.
It hit all zeros.
It hit all zeros, and Nick gets onto the ship like a half second after that and gets on, and we're all like, yes!
Nick hell dove on that shit, dude.
I was in my living room and everyone's like, Nick, you're not gonna make it, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it,
and then you can
like,
see
I'm
there's
like
hundreds following him.
There's so many bugs behind me, and I go and I make it, and it's like 1 a.m. in my apartment. I'm all alone, but I'm on comms with my buddies. And I stand up with just like it was full on adrenaline inducing moments. And you're right, it's cinematic. Like this is what I meant when we're talking about fun per minute. This game's fun per minute is unlike something. I think you nailed it. It's not. It's so hard to capture that when it comes to these like just shooters in general, but like live service games, and they found it. And I think that there's gonna be an audience for this game.
Absolutely.
Sadly, the reason I'm at an A5 is I'm like, I am not gonna be playing this game for months to come, but there will be people playing this game for months to come. And honestly, with our terrific community that we have on Discord, if any of our Discord members are like, hey, we got a free hour. What's something that we all have? Oh, I have Fortnite. I don't have it downloaded. I have Helldivers though. Do we all have Helldivers? Let's play some Helldivers.
Yeah.
And you hop in.
It also
boom.
has like a really good the time frames for each mission. It's like 40, but that's only like if you do everything, or like some of them are 12 minutes though. It's like depending on like how much time you got. Like I could see myself, I get 25 minutes. Let's just do 2 of these 12-minute ones. Get in, get out, or whatever. I got an hour to kill. Let me do a 40-minute one, and then kind of mess around in the menus for a little bit, and then hop off. And I feel like I did something.
Yeah.
And then there's also the moments that you are like, hey, we're playing with a couple community members. We got one spot open. Like, cool, I'll drop in. And then you just drop into the fucking level.
Yeah, that's another thing we didn't hit on,
so
dude.
good.
Yeah, you just hop into any game. Dude,
you don't have to wait for people to finish
a round, especially a 40-minute round.
Open spot.
It's so funny because those rounds are 40 minutes. You're like, all right, let's do all these side missions. We're gonna get it, and then you end up losing a bunch of lives, and quickly that number in the top right corner or the top left corner says 3, and you're like, all right, we just got to get to that evacuation site, dude. We're fucked. And then going back to the cinematic aspect of it, nothing's better than when you make that big ass explosion behind you, and you're like, I'm like, don't look back, guys.
Yep.
You gotta look cool. You gotta look cool.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it pops up. And all of a sudden it pops up like 7 dead bugs. You're like, I did something. We do have some time. I just want to obviously respect Brady's time. What's your out at?
We'd probably get done by 5.
Okay, cool. We got plenty of time. I do want to briefly. Are we good on Helldivers? Do we want to continue to chat? I do want to briefly touch on just this is a conversation I've been built up for like
oh boy,
just a few days at this
on the
point.
edge of my seat.
It is the Nintendo conversation of Nintendo. If I've been in the boat that March reveal, June showcase, fall like September or October release for the Switch 2, Switch successor, whatever you want to call it.
Super Switch.
And now it has been reported that multiple games are being developed for Q1 of 2025, and it looks like that it is going to be pushed into the next year. I want to have 2 conversations. One, how are you guys feeling about that? Do you think it is Q1? I after 4 days after hearing this news, I'm still in the boat that I'm like, I know you just said that. Go fuck yourself. It's coming out this year still. Like, I'm on that level where I think that there's a chance that these games, because it is just rumors. I think that these games are like what they did with the Switch, where it's like it's going to come out with only one banger, and then a couple months later, it's going to have something else, and then something else.
It launched with like Zelda and Scribblenauts, like, and it was
Snipper Clips, dude. Snipper Clips.
And I bought it, and I was like, this is worth every fucking penny.
Yeah, well, dude, that's the thing. It's like, I'm not mad at them. If it comes out in 2025, like, please take your time. They don't owe us anything. The Switch library is so immense, dude. It's like
this might be
I've got enough to entertain me. Take as much time as you need. When you drop the Switch 2, give me all those games you held out on. It's like, give me that fat library of new games I can experience. You know?
Right. And they're pushing right now towards being the highest selling console ever, which we thought was impossible to pass the PS2 at 150 million units. It's like, it's gonna do it, definitely. It's just a matter of when. And like, there's so many Switches out there, and they sell a ton of games on it. It's like, you don't really need to feel pressed right now. The only people who care about it are the fucking nerds like us who are like oh, it's really not powerful enough and can't run. It's running games at 30 frames per second.
Nick doesn't
and it
care.
Sucks.
I don't.
It's like it looks ugly, and it's like, well, it has Zelda and Mario Kart on it.
It's like, some of the most timeless art styles ever.
Yeah, like even though that they're not like, they don't look like Horizon or The Last of Us, they still have like really amazing, beautiful art styles.
Yeah, they're timeless games.
It doesn't matter. That I'm okay with waiting, but I don't want to wait because this year is very light.
I was just about to say, this moves into the next topic of my question, and then it kind of can lead into this PlayStation conversation. If this doesn't come out this year, does this year just suck?
I hope it sucks. I want like this first half of the year to be stacked up like it seems like it's going to be with Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma, and then I just want a relaxing dig into the backlog, play a bunch of games. Second half of the year. That sounds amazing to me.
I just want 2 games. If this doesn't happen, I want 2 heaters down the end of the year, whether it is Indiana Jones, Silent Hill 2, Metal Gear Solid Delta, like 2 of those games to fill out my October, September area, and then we can dial it in for the Game Awards. But I'm on a similar boat where I'm like, how nice would it be to just take a deep breath this year? Like, holy shit, last year was the most exhausting end of any year when it came to September on. There was a new game every single week that was a quote-unquote must-play contender for a game of the year, whether it's indie, Game Pass, or it's big-budget AAA, things like Spider-Man or Starfield. It's really nice to be able to be like, but I'm at the point that I'm just mainly... The reason I wanted this trailer in March and the reason it was rumored to be March for as long as it was I just want to know what it is, and I want to know what it's called.
Yeah.
I want to see that whether it's...
Are they saying that it's not going to have Joy-Cons on it?
There's something weird. That was the weird rumor. I think that they're... I don't think it's going to have Joy-Cons. Apparently, backwards compatibility is next to confirmed, thank God. And yeah, I'm stoked for it. It's going to be awesome when it gets revealed. It's one of those we want it, but we don't need it. But at this point, I actually am... I would be okay with a June reveal, and then it's next year or whatever.
Yeah.
But goddamn, I love hype moments more than anything else. I love these showcases that allows you to have perfect moments where a game is not released yet, and you're able to be like, that game has the potential to be great.
Yeah.
And it's not going to fuck up. And then it's even better when it's something like God of War or Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's like it did deliver, but at that moment before it comes out, it's still perfect. And I want to have that this year with the Switch too, but I'm at the point that I hate to say it, it's okay. For the first time this week, I had doubt that it's not going to come out this year.
Like we keep calling it the Switch 2. And like I said, I'm in the boat of take your time. I'll wait. As long as it's early next year, fine. But damn it, dude, tell me the fucking name. I just want to know what to call it. I want to know if it's cool or not. Or we're just throwing Switch 2.
It's called the Switch U.
It has to be. It has to be the Super Switch.
The Super Switch would be the coolest option.
It's the best fucking name ever, dude. It makes so much sense. It celebrates your heritage with the NES and the SNES.
Yeah.
It's like, just fucking do it, please.
And honestly, this is going to be the console I assume for 7 or 8 years. It has been 7 years now, and every single day that goes past March this year, it is going to be 7 years and then some. In console life cycles, we've been sort of taught is like 6 or 7 years. That's what sort of makes sense.
8 years if it's the PS4.
Yeah, well now it looks like it might be 8 years.
No, 6 years. Oh wait, no. 8, you're right. 8
yeah,
years.
it's good.
Yeah, that's weird. Why were people so upset about that? That's a long life cycle for a console. We're all complaining and crying about the Switch not getting a new console after 7 years.
Yeah. 7 years is what, in my opinion, makes sense. 7 years is when you get the new console.
Yeah.
So that's why this year I was like, this makes sense. We're gonna get it at the fall. It's gonna be awesome. And now after these rumors have come out, I've legitimately lost some wind in my sails. But before we get into the draft, PlayStation has obviously pulled back. It's been reported this week that they pulled back some of their development. Of like they're not making as many PlayStations this year because they didn't hit the quotas that they expected to hit. And they've also announced it looks like no major Sony first-party sequel established franchises. Rumor is that we might get an Astro this year, which would be freaking awesome.
Does that count?
People are saying that doesn't count. Okay. When you do think of the major PlayStation IP, you think God of War, Spider-Man, Last of Us, Naughty Dog's next game, Ghost. Like we're not getting any of those this year. That makes sense. I don't think that there would be a May showcase and then a 6-month turnaround for any of these games. It's possible, but it's not likely. I think Astros would make complete sense. Fill out the back half of the year in an amazing way, and then you'd be able to rely on third party with Silent Hill 2, Delta, FF7 remake or Rebirth. Excuse me. Are you okay with that, Con?
Well, I mean, we just kind of went over the same thing with the Switch on being okay with a quieter second half of the year. Whether we like it or not, Stellar Blade and Rise of Ronin, just because they don't have the PlayStation first party studio working on them, they are PlayStation games. Like
same with Helldivers.
That is a PlayStation game. Like it has the PlayStation Studios logo at the start of it. They're funding the game. Like it's exclusive to PlayStation and PC. Those are big wins for PlayStation for this year. And just because it's not Bend or Sony Santa Monica or Naughty Dog doesn't mean it's not
Blue Point doing, Connor? I also want to say this. Blue Point, if they are working on new IP, it is still potentially. They said it's no recurring, basically major PlayStation IP. Right. Blue Point or Ben could come out with new IP, and would. I feel like I'm like sort of sleuthing festival radiuses and clauses where it's like, hey, so this band plays in this month. Is that part of the radius? Well, it's how it's phrased in their contract. Yeah. But then it's also if they play at this other festival. They're under a different like parameter. I feel like that's where I'm sort of trying to gauge with these first party titles.
Charlie with the lines
totally.
on the board, trying to figure out where everything can fit in.
What could
for me, like I don't care. Like
I do.
I just want them to make the games, and whenever they come out, they come out. And I'm so busy with so many games in the backlog that like if Sony ends up having a lesser year, like the PS5 is outselling the PS4.
We also know why it's a lesser year. It's because this year was supposed to have factions.
Yeah,
that is 100% the truth. I know. I hate Brady. Brady legitimately just looked at me and he got sad. Like it was, I said factions and he was like, huh. like this sucks.
Right.
But yeah, I just want to bring up those quick news stories. It's weird. We don't have obviously a place to talk about all this stuff other than this podcast right now, and so we want to give a little bit of sections to some of the big gaming news, but. We got a draft we're doing.
3-man
draft. Okay.
This Sunday.
So
Sunday.
By the way, I kind of want to lock this back in.
You okay?
I want to do PlayStation franchises. So like you can't do Final Fantasy.
I can't do Final Fantasy 7?
No.
That is what name of Final Fantasy 7 that came out with non-time exclusivity.
That's not a series.
Final Fantasy 7 is within its own series.
Nick.
Well, how is it?
Just let him have this one, dude.
Remake, Crisis Core are all PlayStation games. Connor, I won't draft it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I don't want to deal with the comments that are like, "That's not a PlayStation franchise."
All right, dude. I'm excited for this.
So do you want to intro it and then throw it to Brady
Yep.
and we just go down the line?
Will do. I need to look up just overall PlayStation franchises.
Nick doesn't make his list.
Oh my gosh.
I know. No,
Connor and I are over here with our lists out and ready to ball, dude. Nick, you know PlayStation franchises.
I know. It's more a question of where do I want to go with my first pick? Because are you taking the middle pick or are you getting?
I say we just bounce
and
it
then
back.
bounce it back. Cool.
Keep
Awesome.
it easy on
By the way,
brain.
I look up PlayStation franchises. The sixth one that shows up is Final Fantasy. Eat a butt. Anyways,
It's not like they started on the NES and the SNES, so like
I know, but we all understand that it's now.
They've been on everything,
Is
too.
Metal Gear a PlayStation franchise?
No.
Yes. Oh, really?
no.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is on.
On everything, but
5.
this-
What
see,
are we
this
doing
is- this
here?
is
I
a-
wrote down Metal Gear
Yeah, that's a
Fine. Here, let me update my thing real
and
fast.
Final Fantasy.
No, I think Metal Gear has to be there though.
My
This
first
is
pick, I'm
something-
going Valorant.
My first pick, I'm going with Helldivers.
Shoot. And what was the other one that we just decided on?
So it's Metal Gear,
Metal Gear and
and
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
No, we're not allowing Final Fantasy.
I know.
Okay.
Metal Gear was the other one.
Oh.
Is Tomb Raider count?
I would say
The original Tomb Raiders were PlayStation games, but now they're on everything mainly.
I'd say Tomb Raider because I think we could go retro.
No.
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 Oh, Connor.
Oh
no.
my
The
God.
reboots are on everything.
I'm not picking any of these, so I don't
Exactly.
fucking
Let's
care.
just- let's-
Oh no, I'm totally just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. We're just wasting time.
Does Dead Space count?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
They've released on Xbox 360.
All right, just seeing what's happening. I'm kidding. All right. I have a better idea. PlayStation All Stars roster. I was trying to filibuster to see if I can get a better list, but there was not anything that was actually that good.
Did you just fart?
Dude, Brady just shit his
Oh my
pants
God.
into the fucking mic.
was
chat.
Good this isn't going to be on the internet for people to see.
Forever.
Everybody farts, dude.
Well,
All right.
not everybody shits their pants.
Okay,
Wait, what?
ready?
You shit your pants.
No,
you
Brady,
said.
reminder when you're drafting, look down and then look in the camera and make your pick. Don't like be looking down and be like,
Yeah,
make
so
your
like-
pick
like-
and
I,
go.
yeah. I got you. I've
For my
coached you
first
guys.
pick,
Yeah.
I
Ready?
don't even need to look. I'm going number 1, dude. You already
Yeah,
know
that's
what's
so true.
happening.
You have
Okay,
the
let's go.
easiest
Just go.
easiest pick ever. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are drafting the best PlayStation franchises, and we got a new one. It's a 3-person draft. Myself, Connor, and Brady are here. Brady, you're the guest. What's your first pick?
Oh, I appreciate you throwing me the first pick. And this might be the easiest first pick I've ever had to make. And I'll just get into it. My first pick of the PlayStation franchises draft is obviously The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's number 1 in my heart and number 1 on the charts for sure. It's like, dude, this is the easiest pick I've ever had to make. And I know you two are upset if you had first pick. I'd assume you'd
Totally.
make the same first pick.
Yeah.
I had a first
100%.
as well.
100%. Great pick. Connor.
I'm stuck between two. What I prefer personally and what has more longevity and probably has more popularity, and I'm gonna go with the latter. I'm gonna go with God of War.
Yep.
With my first pick.
I know what the other one was.
Even picking just Ragnarok and the new God of War, it's like that works as putting it into the second spot. But then you also have the back catalog of 1, 2, and 3. Ascension, Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, and that makes it an easy pick for my first.
I have a question, and I should have asked this beforehand. Spider-Man, where do we stand with it?
Yeah,
that's good.
You get Spider-Man 1 and 2. You don't get
Miles.
Oh yeah, but you don't get like
you get the Insomniac Spider-Man games.
Yes.
Yep, cool. I'm not picking it. I just was wondering. With my first pick, I'm going with a perfect game along with 4 other amazing ones. Uncharted. Yep. It is so good. I'm not talking about Golden Abyss. Clearly, I'm talking about the original trilogy, Lost Legacy, and Uncharted 4, the masterpiece movie game. It's amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 video game, and I'm going to follow that up with a game that has been on a lot of PlayStation consoles. It's a mascot character, and it is Insomniac's best game ever. I'm going with Ratchet & Clank.
Damn it, dude.
For my Rift Apart is a masterful game. It's Insomniac's best game. It's better than every single Spider-Man game. It is amazing. I love it. And I understand that this might not be a winning formula for the draft, but 3-person, I'm probably not going to win anyways. I'm drafting with my heart today.
With my second pick, I'm going to go with Metal Gear Solid. We're going Metal Gear Solid, a storied franchise that pushed the medium of gaming forward into a cinematic epic experience. I've only played 1, 2, and 5, and I've heard 3 is even better. So the fact that there's more to love about the series that I haven't experienced, I cannot wait to get into it. Metal Gear with my second pick.
We want to make it very clear. We did discuss this. Don't get in the comments. Metal Gear, we're allowing as a PlayStation franchise.
Yeah.
Brady.
I mean, you guys that was my top 4 right out the gate, but I mean, that was as expected, honestly. With my second pick in the draft, I'm stuck between a few, but I think I'm just going to go with my gut. And with my gut, I'm just going to rip one. I'm gonna go Spider-Man. I think I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna take Spider-Man. I like how my list is looking. Oh wait, I get 2 picks, don't I?
Yeah, dude, you have Spider-Man in The Last of Us.
Yeah. I'm feeling comfortable. And then this is where I could play it safe and I could win, but I think I'm gonna go with my heart a little bit on my third pick. So for my third pick of the draft, I think I'm gonna go Infamous.
Ooh, I had that next.
I'm gonna go Infamous. I was taking next. Dude, I mean, 2 perfect games, and it's like we want more. Give us more Infamous. Give us a new Infamous.
And Second Son and First Light on PS4 are excellent. They're not as good as the first 2, but they are great. With my third pick, I wanted Infamous so bad. With my third pick, I'm gonna go out of left field here. I think this isn't even on either of your lists. I'm gonna go with the Team Ico trilogy of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian.
Okay, it was when we were having lunch. I did think about this. None of those games are on anything except for PlayStation,
and they are first party developed.
But that's they're all different IP. I think you should just get Shadow of the Colossus.
No.
What?
Because it is a trilogy. Let me reshoot that, I guess.
No, you're good.
No, I got it. With my third pick, I'm going to go with the Team Ico trilogy of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. It was some of the most artistic and influential games of all time. Shadow of the Colossus, the 7th greatest game of all time on my list, I believe. But yeah, fantastic. Love me some Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian Ico.
Are we allowed to take games that are not full series that has 1 entry?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome.
Oh, no.
With my next pick, I will be choosing the Horizon series. Forbidden West is amazing. It's a great follow-up to Zero Dawn. Probably the best looking game on PS5 is Forbidden West, I would say. It's unbelievable. The combat's great. Story is really solid. And it's a world that is so unique and it has its own style that that's Horizon. When you see the world, you see those robo dinos, and you're just all about it. It's great. With my fourth pick, I'm choosing Bloodborne.
Just straight to the point. I
Done.
like it. Yeah.
Let's wrap this draft up. I just won it. It's over.
I guess that counts.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, we just said he could do.
Literally asked the question. You gave me the green light. I'm choosing Bloodborne. Welcome to the fucking show, boys.
I can still win.
There's a lot of game left. There's a lot of game left, dude.
I understand, but what just happened was, I genuinely think that Bloodborne stands alone at such a high peak in gaming that it is looked at many times. So where's Bloodborne remastered? Where's a Bloodborne 2? Where's like how can we make this happen and make it like something new, because we love Bloodborne so much. The people that love Bloodborne love it to the highest degree because it is one of the greatest games of all time. It's not just like if someone said that that's the greatest game of all time, you'd be like, yep. And I just got that with my 4th pick. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. So I have a 10 out of 10 game in Bloodborne for a lot of people. I have a 10 out of 10 game for myself with Uncharted 4. I have a PlayStation mascot and a half, and I have the best looking PlayStation game of all time. We went from feeling real bad about Nikki Two Shoes' team to real good.
Man, it's just yapping. Dude. He's just talking shit, man.
He's just trying to gas his team up. You need filler when you don't have a good team.
I'm going to be honest. I was like, okay, if I don't start just... I
need to sell this.
I wasn't dogging on y'all's team at all, but I was trying to very much build my team up.
Okay. Yeah. Connor, what do you got?
With my 4th pick, I'm going to go... Wait, are you done?
I have one left.
No, we were bounced back, yeah.
With my 4th pick, I'm going to go with a series that needs to make a comeback. We're going Sly Cooper.
Damn it.
Stealth, amazing characters, fantastic combat and missions, tons of style, very unique 3D platformer stealth game. Sly Cooper. Give me another Sly, please.
Dude, clip it and put that on the internet. I think you got the people working. Yeah. I think we're gonna get another Sly after that. Yeah,
Slide like the inside Sly. I'm like the inside Sly. That's such a niche, weird song. I don't like it on the inside.
J-Bob, keep that in. I'm just kidding.
No,
don't do that. Do not keep that in.
J-Bob. All right. Well, I'm going into this final 2 picks feeling real confident.
Really?
I got The Last of Us. I got Spider-Man. I got Infamous, dude.
Yeah.
All fantastic series. 10 out of 10, some would say. But you guys left me with some great picks here. Mm-hmm. For my 4th pick of the draft, this is an easy one. I'm going to go Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, yeah. Damn it.
Yep. And I'm feeling real good. I got the New York Yankees right now of video game drafts. And to close out that draft, with my 5th and final pick, you took Sly Cooper. But I'm taking Spyro, dude.
Ooh.
Give me Spyro.
Give
me Spyro. Gotta go classic. Gotta have some classics on my list.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just take my trophy now.
Okay. Honestly, that last pick reminded me of like me picking Hi-Fi Rush or something, where it's like there's a really good case for it being on the list, but also you dominated so much that you can pick whatever you want with that last pick. Yeah. I think the comments are going to favor Brady's team mightily. Except,
1-0, baby.
Except my team is about to get so good. So I'm sorry.
I have a lot of directions to go here. PlayStation All-Stars,
MLB The Show.
MLB The Show. But I'm going to go with my final pick. I'm going to go Little Big Planet.
Really?
A game series that like kind of carried the PS3 for me in a lot of ways, that I sunk so many hours into creating levels and playing other people's levels. It has that media molecule whimsicality, that charm that only they can put out. I want them to make another Little Big Planet game. Give it their all. Bring the series back. Media molecule. Give it to me.
Okay, I can go to a couple places right here. We got some big mascots still on the table with Jack and Crash, but I got to stay true to myself. And we all know on this channel at this point that there's nothing I like more than hitting the track. I'm going Gran Turismo, boys.
I had that
GT is so good, so underrated. For the people that play this game, this is one of the greatest series of all time. If it is not for you, maybe give it another shot, because it is one of the greatest series of all time. Gran Turismo is infinitely replayable. It is a staple on PlayStation, where some of y'all series have 1 or 2 PlayStation games or 3 games for the Big Planet, but like this game is game series is unfreaking believable. When you're on the track, these cars sound great, the engines are firing, the tires are burning, and you're going fast. I love GT. I love racing games, and yeah, I feel really good because I think my average Metacritic score of my team is like 98.
Dude just threw. Man he had Bloodborne on his team. He just dumped it out.
Man had Crash Bandicoot on the table, and he went with a racing game.
You have Crash Bandicoot. You have Resistance. You have Killzone. You have Astro's Playroom. I thought you were going Astros. I thought you were on Astros.
I took MLB The Show before Gran Turismo, dude.
Yeah, because you guys don't know how to play games that are not like, it's third person, and I don't know what to shoot. Like I'm over here hitting the track.
Like me,
I got you so good, man.
That was a fun episode of the Casual Gaming Conversation. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us for another week of gaming discussions. We post a new TikTok every single day. We stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10. We have the biggest stream yet this weekend, February 23rd. February 23rd, we are doing a subathon playing all of Final Fantasy VII Remake, a game that Nick likes a little bit, okay? He just kind of enjoys. That we are going to play the entire game if you guys allow it and support it. 48 hours of streaming. Maybe we'll play some Intergrade depending on how it all goes.
Yeah, just real briefly, we're going to last until 6 p.m. on Sunday. If it is funded until 6 p.m. on Sunday, mainly for the safety of myself and Connor, where him and I are the only two holding the controller during this stream. We have other jobs. We need to be able to be good and productive at our jobs on Monday. So if it is like 10 a.m. and we beat the game, we'll hop into Intergrade. If it's like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. when we beat the game, we might just call the subathon there. Once again, just give us the understanding and grace. We're gonna like the longest stream we've ever done before Co-op 64 Day was 24-hour streams. That's normal. That's easy. 30 hours was like a huge endeavor, and now we're just like, let's just add 18 more hours and a full another night of streaming. So Connor's gonna be taking a lot of the day shifts, and then for those people that want to get wild, the late night crew will be in full effect with mainly me holding it down. Brady may or may not make an appearance. We're trying to make sure he can get the weekend off and play games and hang out with his wife and everything. So just a heads up there. More details to come. If you have any questions, hop into a stream, ask us in Discord, in the general chat, anything like that. It's obviously just a huge moment for Co-op 64, and honestly, thank you guys so much for letting us celebrate Final Fantasy VII Remake, my second favorite game ever, and leading it to Rebirth. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thank you guys so much for being here for another week. Appreciate you. Peace out.
Go Thieves.